record. Let me try it. Hi, y'all. I'm in Texas. I'm still trying. No, don't even try. Okay. Welcome, everyone. Today, we are in our monthly training for healthy holiday eating. 3x3 step system, how to not overeat. In fact, this can be about any meal, any time of the year, and not just about the meal. What I'd like to invite you to is right away, I'm going to just bring it in, put your curiosity goggles on. I'm going to have fun today. And curiosity goggles means with no judgment, with just, isn't it interesting? With curiosity goggles, I'm also inviting you to really challenge yourself. If you hear something you heard before, dig further, dig deeper, and ask yourself, what can it be for me? Where can I challenge myself in what she is talking about right now? Can we agree on that? Okay. All right. Very good. And let me share the screen right away. Make sure it's opened. All right. So this was done about 3 years ago. So let's see what we can create today. Don't you love those flowers? Okay, so today we will learn how to thrive through holidays with clarity and why. Step number 2, proper pickup of physical activity, especially during those heavy meal days. Step number 3, that's how 3x3 shows up. We're going to look into mental rehearsal of that day. I'm thinking about Thanksgiving. So right away, I'm asking you, what is the event that you're going to practice today by mentally rehearsing? We're going to look at what to do before, during, and after. So please stay till the end. It's a lot of fun, and do pay attention, because there's a lot of those mental rehearsal details. It's almost like when you're watching a movie. You know, I can sleep through the movie and kind of get a concept in my dream, or I can really be in the movie and notice every single detail. And in fact, sometimes, like even now when I teach, I read my script and I'm thinking, ooh, there's another detail, there's another detail. And at the end, I will share with you how you can join our club. And maybe if you like, there's a Black Friday coming. I do have an offer, so we'll see. All right. Let's jump in. By the way, remember your curiosity goggles are already on. If you don't yet know me well, besides you know my name, Nadezhda, by now, it means hope, but my short name is Nadia. I am from St. Petersburg, Russia. The left pictures is my hometown, and my 2 babies, they're 15 and 18 right now. Wow, I'm like, I have to really pose and think. Looking at these pictures, my brain needs to switch. And I've been in this country, let me see what I got. I've been in this country since 2003. When I had my young family, children, really paid all my attention to really taking care of my family, taking care of what I need to do as a young mom. And at some point, my body was really asking me, hey, please pay attention to me. So luckily, I didn't have anything major, but honestly, it was still a major to be sick and tired all the time. Literally every month I was tired and just mentally and emotionally not feeling good, feeling frustrated, stuck, alone. In fact, asking myself, is this all in my life? So I'm inviting you to look in your life. Maybe it's one area, maybe it's overall, maybe it's several areas. Where in your life, in your health, you're not feeling complete, let's say. Sure, and I went to my own journey to find those tools and techniques, how to really help myself, first of all. I started with nutrition, trying to figure out how do I heal my body? What do I need to eat to feel better? And actually the mindset became my first pillar because my major is psychology, so it was really natural. to go there. And the fitness actually became my last pillar. My fitness experience was, I still remember I go to a chiropractor every month, not because I had to, because I will injure myself in the gym. And he looks at me, he's like, I really do not want to see you. What did you do? So that was an interesting memory that I have. But over the years, I became a certified health coach, life coach, corrective exercise specialist, fitness trainer, obvious, and the weight loss specialist as well. So what I created, and I think you have it in a handout on the back. Let me see if I have it on the slide. You can see on the bottom little circle, the circle is 3 pillars of health, mindset, nutrition, and fitness. And we also work in our community through 3 steps of transformation. It's like a mountain, the foundation, where you are, where you want to be. So the steps to get there, and the top of the mountains is maintenance. And we do work through our behaviors, beliefs, and identity to make sure the changes last. This slide I always keep on purpose because what I'd like us to really look at is the worst time is the best time. What do I mean by that? When is, quote unquote, the worst time of the year for you to take care of yourself, your body, mind, and soul? Normally it's something happened in life. Maybe it's the job, maybe it's relationships, there's some kind of dramatic, traumatic event that might derail us from our journey. Or, and doesn't have to be the worst time, but busy time, right? Holidays is really busy time. We're just starting this heavy load of different schedule. So what I want to invite you to is to look at, this is the best time of our year in life to really play with self-care. And playing with self-care, that's why I have a light bulb here. It's like when it gets dark, busy hard, turn up the light bulb of self-care a little bit higher. It's almost like in the dark room, you will see even a tiny, tiny light. Not when it's bright and shiny and happy. So please do challenge yourself and ask yourself, what is the time of the year where I tend to say, maybe later, maybe after holidays, not enough time, not enough money. With that said, when we look at really turning up our self-care right there at harder times, you can really learn how to enjoy life through those times and help your body, and especially through a joyful time. So you can truly enjoy the life that you want. So as I mentioned, if at the end, if you like to have any kind of Black Friday specials, let me know and I'll share the gift with you at the end. So you're in the right place if you're feeling busy, can't put anything else on your plate, feeling lack of energy, you want to kick the sugar cravings, feeling stress, or maybe a comfort eater, maybe it's a yo-yo cycle, you tried so many different things, you're in pain and inflammation, maybe you have problems with portion control, feeling alone and not supported. By the way, feel free to use the chat. If there's something stands out for you and you're willing to share in the chat, feel free to do that. If not, just go ahead and make a either write down in your notebook or mental note, here's where I am. Okay, I have to tell you, I do not know what's coming up in the slide. That's the one thing that I didn't prepare, but we'll see. All right. Average holiday weight gain. I believe it was the Mayo Clinic. That was before COVID. The average weight gain around the holidays was 9 pounds. And I put in brackets here, plus about 22, sometimes I hear 50 pounds right now during COVID. So make a mental mark if this is you, or what is the weight that you want to let go of. Sometimes I say, know where you are right now and know the weight you want to be at. But just for the summary, what is the number? And obviously the extra weight, there's just so much involved in it, but overall we can see as well, feeling bloated, tired, lethargic, frustrated, judgmental, lack of motivation, want to give up and do it later. In fact, there was a study done just recently among the people who want to lose weight. The number one reason is lack of motivation. That was an interesting result for me to read. Okay, really doesn't have to be you. And we're going to look today at how not to gain that weight by preventing overeating. And again, it can be done for any time of the year and even any circumstance. Okay, so the 3 steps, I'm not explaining them to you here yet. So the 3 steps are, oh my gosh, okay. Guys, I apologize, I don't see what's in front of me. This slide, I'm not in there. But the 3 steps, as I mentioned, we're gonna look at what is the intention of the holidays? What is the why? We're gonna look at the physical activity and what to do. And then we really dive into the mindful eating. Okay, without further ado, go ahead and use your workbook. Let's look at your why. You know, that's an interesting one for me. When I look at the why, it was not always right, like my number one awareness that I would bring for myself. I will just be the one, well, I'm a doer, you know, I gotta do this and that. But that comes afterwards. What is my why of doing this and that? So I'm asking you, what is your why, honestly, overall in your life, in your health, and for holidays? Anybody would like to work with me here for a few minutes? That's okay if no takers. I'll give an example I normally hear. Anybody would like to work with me?
I will.
All right, Lorinda, thank you very much. Appreciate. Okay, so if I asked you, what is your why? What comes to your mind right away? By the way, there's no right or wrong. Whatever comes to you is the answer.
Is the why I want to lose weight?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so I can be healthier.
Yeah, and in fact, the why can be, I want to lose weight so I can be healthier. So everybody watch what I'm doing. Why do you want to be healthier?
So I have more energy.
So you have more energy. Why do you want to have more energy?
So that I can do more stuff with the grandkids.
More stuff with grandkids. And I could ask another question, or Lorinda will ask herself, why do I want to do more stuff with grandkids?
So that there's quality time with them.
Quality time.
For them to remember.
Yeah. Did you see what we just did? Everybody followed? It was why underneath the why. It started from I want to lose weight. And it got to the, I call it to the core, quality time. Normally the core is like the something that tickles your heart, something connected with love, quality time, connectedness. Does it make sense, everyone?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you, Lorinda, appreciate it. Yeah. All right, so feel free to jot down your answers. And in fact, around the holidays, we can ask the same question. What is my why during this holiday season? And then you can work through the structure of why underneath the why. It is amazing. That's where curiosity goggles are really helpful. Okay, everybody needs a little bit of time or we are ready to move forward. Go ahead and use the chat. Are you ready to go? You can give me thumbs up on the screen as well. Now I'm thinking about my personal why. And I can give, in fact, first that came to my heart is similar. Like I want to feel connected with my family. Like I quickly went through why. And then I jumped. It's interesting to observe how my mind is like, okay, let's talk about the business. What is your why throughout the holidays? Why are you so busy? Why are you doing that? Because I want to, but at the end of the day, the core of my why with the family is being connected, like really feel the love. And in business, it's because I honestly want to help the world to be a healthier place. It might sound like, oh, that's big, but it's really one person at a time. It's global, but it's individual choices. Takes time, but it's worth it. So that's my why. I want to see people smiling because they're happy. Okay, before I start crying, let's move forward. That was the step number 1. What is your why? Step number 2, who remembers? Okay. Speaking of the movie, the details. Okay, let's talk about picking up on physical activity. You know, that's interesting. I was looking at the slide and I asked myself, how about yourself? Why are you talking about picking up on physical activity? By the way, we are already preparing. It's all about preparation. Maybe you heard preparation is 80% of the success. So for myself personally, I created a structure of, okay, if I get more calories in, I need to get more calories out. That is why I'm joining Turkey Trot on Thursday morning. Honestly, maybe not because I'm just so eager to do it, because I know I want to burn extra calories and have fun with it, then work out on my own. And that is why we teach an after Thanksgiving calorie burn. You can join our live stream on Friday morning. That's after the Thanksgiving day. And that's why I'm teaching that class. So ask yourself, what can I do to pick up on physical activity? Honestly, like if I would pay on tedious details, I would even ask, so what do you think? How much extra calories will you burn? Is it 500 calories, 700 calories, 1500 calories? Honestly, in order to not gain weight, burn at least that amount of calories. Does it make sense? Honestly, in and out. And if you want to keep losing weight, burn more. So how do I do it? I'm just giving you my personal examples, and you ask yourself first, okay, what do I do? I have a choice of cardio. Maybe it's a fast walk, maybe it's jogging, running, biking, rowing machine, whatever is yours. And by the way, this one does burn calories, but when you implement resistance training, it's and or option. With resistance training, when we do resistance training, we're breaking our muscles like mini micro tears, and that is why the body is replenishing muscle, by the way, bones as well, and is burning calories at the same time. You know, there are different types of calories we're burning. Most of the calories we're burning do not come from physical activities. They come from living. The heart is beating, lungs working, your body is functioning, and it's burned quite a bit of calories. We call it basal metabolic rate. That can be almost 1,200 calories a day, depending, of course, on the person. What we do on top of that is our either non-physical activity or exercise. Am I making sense? So if you're doing resistance training, we're actually implementing more into the basal metabolic calorie burn. Basically, we're burning calories at rest. So what can you do and when can you do? Maybe it's a morning, like I mentioned, Turkey Trot that I do. What about the during? Actually, that day when we tend to eat a lot, just move. Walk and talk with people, stand if you're watching TV, Like find the ways to creatively move. And also after the meal, think about not sitting, oh, I need to digest. Yeah, maybe wait for a few minutes, 15 minutes, and then go for a walk. Move consistently and constantly, especially during that day, because through the movement, you're burning extra calories. Making sense? And you're actually feeling just better. Yeah. All right. So with our after Thanksgiving calorie burn, if you want to register, it's actually on coachingbynadia.com/events. In that workout, we're going to do both resistance training and additional in the cardio. Focus is on resistance training. What our workouts are is functional movement. Functional movement is basically we are moving in all different directions, planes of motion. We include in full body workout, a little bit of like I hear a muscle confusion workout. We are implementing compound movements. So instead of just bicep curls, I may ask you, hey, stand on one foot, tippy toes on the other foot, and do bicep curls instead because your core is engaged. The other way, new term is called metabolic workouts nowadays. So metabolic workouts are basically the exercise that is raising your metabolism, and therefore it helps you stay fit and lose weight. Okay, so if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat or hold at the end, and I will open the floor for that. Okay, in fact, if there are any questions, go ahead and put in the chat, and then we jump into the meat of our conversation. So any questions about picking up on physical activity? All right. So step 1, please let's know our why. Step 2, pick up on physical activity. Step 3, do you have some food nearby? Step 3 is honestly all about let's get down to business. What are we here? Okay, if we're here to eat, it's about mental rehearsal. Today, it's about mental rehearsal, which means we're going to break it down, what to do before, during, and after. By the way, mental rehearsal is a technique that has been used for decades. It was created actually for athletes to practice for the main competition. You probably have heard, what's his first name? Michael Phelps, the swimmer who got the gold medal. That day, a few years ago, when he got the gold medal, his goggles got fogged. He got some water and he could not see swimming. And when he was asked, how did you do it? He said, I knew every single detail, how many strokes, how many breaths. He knew second by second, movement by movement. He did it by memory. So what we are doing here is creating a memory. And in fact, that's why I mentioned at the beginning, many times I repeat this is good repetition to allow my brain to remember. Okay, are you ready to jump? I'm inviting you to really look at your upcoming meal. What is it? For me, it's going to be Thanksgiving afternoon around 1 o'clock. About 40 of us are going to get together, and it's going to be about 3 different sections of food. Okay. So I'm going to give you my example, and you work with your own. Before I go to the Thanksgiving, I'm going to mentally rehearse what's for breakfast. By the way, before my breakfast, you remember, I already went to turkey trot. How many calories did I burn? I burned maybe between 200 and 300, depending if I walked or ran. Okay. Then I come back home, and it's all about, what did I call it? A calorie distribution. So if I know I'm going to eat more in the afternoon, I am not going to not eat for breakfast. That's what my mom taught me. She's like, save the space, don't eat. But if I don't eat before my main meal, you probably can guess what's going to happen, right? Food. And I'm going to eat so much. so fast. And you know what happens afterwards. So we're gonna not do that. Prevent overeating by really planning. What do I eat for breakfast? So I'm gonna give you some ideas here, but think about for breakfast and early lunch, if my Thanksgiving is a kind of a late lunch, I'm going to prepare some food that is light in calories, but really full in nutrition. So it's the concept of density. There is calorie density versus nutrient density. Really huge, important concept. Calories density versus nutrient density. You can probably guess what is calorie density. There will be processed foods. There will be a food when you look at the label, they're like, wow, oh my gosh, 200 calories for what? So there's a packaged foods. And nutrients, on the contrary, density. So your fresh fruit, vegetable. It's like, if you look at the volume, when you start eating 400 grams, for example, of calorie density is going to really fill your stomach, and overeating calories is very quick in here. But if I put nutrient density, like vegetable, fruit, maybe light yogurt, light protein, maybe nuts. I'm looking at the table and imagining what might I have for breakfast. I give good nutrient amount. I already start feeling good about myself, but I'm not over filling my body with calories. Am I making sense? Yeah, okay. So think about what your breakfast can be. Honestly, picture here is good to me for breakfast. Then lunch, and you have it in your worksheet. So write down your answers. Lunch for some of us may not be there because you're already going to eat. For me, I'm probably going to eat lunch because, again, my planning is not to starve before the main meal. For lunch, I'm going to have something similar. Maybe I'm going to put, honestly, I cannot eat greens in the morning, like early morning. I eat protein in the morning. So for early lunch, that's where I'm going to pile up on. That's the picture I chose because that's what I would eat for lunch. So thinking about greens, thinking about veggies, think about nutrient-dense food. That's a decent volume, by the way. I'm going to trick my stomach / my brain, fill my stomach with food, but it's not the calorie dense, it's the nutrient dense. And by the way, I'm feeling good again. And what the body is doing when you start feeling good, you want to keep feeling good even when the main meal comes. But the other thing, what I'm doing here, I'm already filling my body with good nutrients, like the fresh and healthy nutrients. So when I see the main meal, there will be a lot of options that I am quote unquote not supposed to eat. But I will give myself a permission to do it versus filling up on salad there because I already had my salad in the afternoon. Can you see how I'm planning, mentally planning what I'm eating? I'm not saying no to greens. I'm just eating them beforehand. And maybe around this time, if you asked to bring something, that's a great opportunity to make something you are going to eat. When I say that, I'm like, I can make this and eat myself anytime of it. But this is just, I just have to say it because it's in my notes and I think it's important. So if you know that there will be a food that you just cannot not eat, it's not on you, make something that feels good for you to eat. Okay. But wait, there is more on the way. This point always makes me smile. My kids used to make comments, not anymore. Mom, you're going to eat. Why are you eating? Guess what mom is saying? I'm not eating. I'm snacking. So I'm not hungry or starving. So what can you snack on the way I'm keeping my stomach feeling kind of light and empty, but not starving. On the weight, those are my 3 choices. And go ahead and write down yours. My choice, I might have an apple. Good appetite producer as well. I might have, this is my picture here. I might have a snack bar. I usually do protein bar. Be careful on the sugar content. And I might have a tiny bite of nuts. Again, I love nuts. I'm nuts about nuts. I'm just giving you my example. So what can be yours? Thinking about calorie density versus nutrient density. On the way, I am still going to put nutrient density foods in my tummy. Okay, are we good to go? My gosh, I gotta eat. I'm talking about food and I'm getting hungry. By the way, this is one of the snack bars I eat on the way. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you're ready to eat. In terms of actually open the door. Let's see what's next. Oh yes, upon arrival. This is a good one here. So upon arrival, normally, like in my family, I am talking about, I am just opening the door. And what might happen? Speaking of senses. Oh, that Thanksgiving smell. You might have some people in the house. So what might I do upon arrival? Important concept, take your time. By the way, I'm not hungry because I just snacked on the way. I'm not starving. So all the smells, I am producing my hunger hormone, but I'm not feeling starving and urgent to must eat something. So I'm going to take my time. I'm not going to rush to get the food from the table. I'm going to focus on what is my why during these holidays. I'm going to focus on socializing, finding someone I haven't seen for a while, seeing what's happening with them. Walking around, speaking of calorie burn, stand, help to cook, help to set the table. All right, so think about what can happen in your situation where you can still be engaged in social activity even before the table. So in some of us cases, there might be alcohol present. Alcohol is very calorie density drink. So maybe it can be mixing it with non-alcoholic beverage. Maybe you're filling up on water. I didn't mention water yet. So let's drink water as much as we can before the food is also a great idea. One of the thoughts is saying no to bread before the meal. Sounds good to me, because bread is like, if I really want to consume something on the table that I haven't seen for a year, I can eat bread any other day, unless it's a specialty bread, then it's different. So consider saying no to bread. Again, I am planning my calorie intake. This is it. All right, let's see what's next. Table time is coming. Okay. At the table. Please write those things down. When you're approaching a table, imagine it's like a movie. You see it, can't touch it yet. So stand in front of the table, and especially like in my family, when I have 40 people, I'll have time to stand and just look at everything you have. Food, drinks, desserts. Plan in your head what, how much, when you're going to eat. That's the word I'm trying to avoid saying, but let me try. Strategize. I tell you, even in my deathbed, I'll never be able to say that. It's like my Russian-built mouth is not saying strategize word, but it's a great word to use. That's why sometimes I say plan. But strategize, I'm going to make give you another smile. What you eat, when you eat, how much to eat. So then when you hold in the plate, it's time to take something on your plate. people behind you, people in front of you, the line is moving. For example, maybe you can fill your plate with greens. Why not more greens? We need several servings of it. So when you put in food on the plate, again, try to do your best to avoid this calorie density foods and put some nutrient density food. Try to avoid greasy, fried, starchy foods. I know it's all cliche, classic, you've heard that before. But now I'm really mentally prepared. And in my case, I'm going to plan where the salads are. Did you see I just skipped that word? I'm not going to say straight away. Where the salads are, what are they, which salads do I choose? And I'm going to fill my plate with them first. And if you're not sure, you can just ask, is this food healthy for my body? Is my body going to enjoy this food, especially afterwards? Another beautiful concept, serving size, small versus large. Because there are so many options, I'm going to intentionally choose kind of sample servings or small servings, especially with dessert later, samples. So I'm going to put many options, but small servings. Am I making sense? Yeah, okay. So now you fill the plate, you're holding the plate, and you're going to the table to eat. Are you all ready to eat? I asked you a question before, you were just taking some food. All right, so at the table while eating, really important. We're still mindfully walking through what's going to happen. So if there are alcohol at the table, think about the calories again. Maybe mix it with water. Oh, by the way, before you start eating, if you can, make a note in your hand, set a timer. It usually takes about 15 minutes for our brain to actually catch that we are eating. But it is a holiday, so maybe set the timer anywhere between 15 to 30 minutes. It can be vibrate timer, so it doesn't go off and everyone is like, what? Vibrate in your pocket. So while you're eating, please make a note. Savor each bite. So if we had food with us, I'll ask you, just notice when you're chewing, like really pay attention to your senses. It's like when you're watching a movie that you just love, or looking at the painting. Like I noticed in the painting, I go so close to it and I'm starting to look at every single stroke and even the detail of that stroke. Pay attention to the food. Maybe you've heard me saying before, chew 33 times. Like count deep inside. Jean, you don't know. One time you were chewing and I was counting your bites because your jaw was moving. And I'm like, I wonder if she's going to chew. You did more than 33. I didn't say anything, but I was counting you. Yeah, so imagine, even if like conversation is happening, mindful at least one time, chew 33 times and notice. By the way, that's the first step of digestion in our mouth, because the saliva is helping us to break the food into small pieces, which accumulates nutrients so much better, helps us lose weight too, and the portion control. So 33 times. Come back next week and let me know. And I wonder, you will have some, well, when I ate fruit, 33 times was hard, but when I took some meat in my mouth, 33 times was not enough. It depends on also what you eat. By the way, between those 33 bites, we're going to put the fork on the table. I'm not going to hold the fork in my hand. You can guess why, right? I'm going to put it on the table. In fact, put my hands on my lap or somewhere where I'm not touching my plate or fork or spoon. I call it take a breath between the bites. Jean is practicing. See you chewing. All right. And what you can do at that time, here's the lady, she's practicing. She's holding her hands together and she's just paying attention to a conversation. And by the way, what you do in meanwhile is playing a game, write it down, to be the last person to finish the food. Okay. I'm just like, when I'm saying it, I just feel how much I will enjoy the food. I'll take time to appreciate. Now is the key point, how to not overeat, is how to stop eating. Oh, by the way, anybody wants dessert? We forgot about dessert. Shall we skip? I'll just give you one concept. For dessert, you've been planning calories. I am planning my dessert. I'm not saying no to dessert. You can. My choice. I'm going to look at the table, do the same thing. I'm going to plan what I see on the table. I'm going to decide what I'm going to eat, not eat, maybe take to go. My choice. I'm taking food to go. Distribution of calories, and I'm going to take serving size. Oh my gosh, sample size. I'm going to take sample size, maybe of 3 or 4. That's what I usually put on my plate, just bites. When I have that bite, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to use that bite for a lot of minutes. I'm going to savor that bite even more when I had the food. More calories take longer to have it in your mouth and enjoy the flavor. So now, are you ready to stop eating? The timer goes off, vibrate in your pocket. You look at the time like, wow, it's been 30 minutes. So here's what you do. Write it down. Question 1. Am I still enjoying it? Am I still enjoying it? The next thing you can ask, by the way, you don't have to do all of this. You can just do one. The next thing you can ask, okay, name. On the scale from 1 to 10, how hungry or stuffed are you? So if it's 0, you're really hungry, but now you've been eating for 30 minutes. On the scale from 1 to 10, how full are you? If the answer between around 7 to 8, now it's time to stop. I guarantee you, if you take any extra bite after you say 8, you're going to overeat. And then here's what you do. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. By the way, here's meal completion. This is such a magic here. So here's what you do. When you say, yep, I'm at 8, I'm done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're going to put a fork on a plate. You're going to put a napkin on the plate. Then, this is magic. Say out loud, announce it. I am done. And last one, push the plate away from you. You got it? Here's where the magic is. And I've tried that before. It's embarrassing. If I just open the napkin and take another bite, there's going to be a sweet person at the table who's going to say out loud, I thought you said you're done. Usually it's a child. They pay attention. It works, by the way, with to-go boxes at the restaurant too. It's funny. And another thing, what we do, we actually tell our brain that I'm complete. Okay, now that we've done that, what do we do after eating? Well, you can see those cute little kids. They get up and they help clean up. We are already planning to burn those calories we have been consuming. If you want to put the plates, take the plates off the table, bring them in the sink, pick up something, help the host or hostess. Do that. Let me see. Avoid food coma. I love this cat. He is very kind of doesn't even belong in my presentation anymore, but yes, he does, because I just love the way he is feeling it. So if you feel it, OMG, I still did it. By the way, let's not bring guilt into the game. I'm actually want to invite you to, in this mental rehearsal, to say, this is not about the guilt. It's about giving myself freedom, or I heard the concept just recently, replace guilt with forgiveness. I'm just going to forgive myself for what I eat. I'm going to give myself freedom meal, not a day or week or weekend, freedom meal to eat what I want by, I'm going to say, strategizing what I'm going to eat. But things happen. Hey, if it happened, here's what you do. Take a few minutes, 10, 15, get up, go for a walk. Honestly, like we have in our 40 people house, we have a group of people who always go walk the dogs. It's not only because dogs need it. And sometimes we have like half of the house, they all go for a walk. It helps metabolize, it helps to burn calories, and it also helps you feel better. What it also does, it helps you get back into your healthy journey right away. So the goal is, I'm giving myself freedom and permission to eat what I want and permission to jump right back into my healthy journey. Okay, and I want to give you this quick tool at the end. If then, I like calling it when then. So you can mentally, by the way, this tool works for anything and everything. Kind of play a game for yourself. Okay, if I eat that much dessert, then I'm going to decide how long my walk is going to be so I can burn those calories. If I eat or overeat, then I'm going to say, I'm glad you enjoyed this food. Where's the dog to go for a walk? Who has a dog? So really plan, if this happens, then I will do that. Again, it's all about mental preparation. Does it make sense? Yeah. Okay. So as I mentioned, no guilt, mentally preparing, and this tool helps us get back right on the healthy track. So what we talked today about is know your why, pick up on physical activity, mental rehearsal before, during, and after. What a magical tool, isn't it? Please be patient, it takes time. If it's the first time you hear this concept, whatever that sticks with you, practice that. And then practice it again and again. It's like building muscle in the gym. It takes time. You can't build your biceps by doing 10 repetitions. It's just a tiny each time for a certain period of time. And again, if you want to join our community, please do join our club. Okay, so that's what I mentioned at the beginning. In our club, we work through 3 pillars: mindset, nutrition, fitness, 3 steps, foundation, results, maintenance, through 3 stages to transformation: behaviors, beliefs, and identity. Okay, so if you know that you're ready to get started, or maybe you actually want to dive deeper, hey, let me give you a gift of a 1 personal free session. Just send in the chat, in the private chat, that you want it, and I'll send you the link. And if you want to look at some options, we do have 50% in the Black Friday. I do have those offers, but again, if you want to take a look, let me know and I'll send you the link. What we have as a part of our club, 3 different levels of participation. We have private, the VIP group, where you see live me and other participants, whether it's fitness or group coaching. And you can be a part of the club, which is the one I mentioned at the beginning, for $35 a month. And those trainings are available for any level, even the club level. Okay, so that's 50% around the Black Friday. But if you're ready, just let me know. Okay, so we can feel that we prioritize ourselves, feel energy, light, control. We can relax. We feel less pain, we feel supported. And what's my last one? To have long-lasting transformation. Okay. Now I'm going to share this story with you. Some of you have heard this story from me. Denise, when she approached me, her goal was to lose 100 pounds. And she actually lost about half of that when we started working out with fitness. Then we tapped into the mindset and really self-love. And by her 50th birthday, that was her desire, she lost 100 pounds. That was pre-COVID. When the COVID hit, she was sick twice. And the first time I remember she was messaging me, we were just finishing our coaching. She said, Nadia, I cannot even go to the bathroom. She was that sick for 2 months. And her family has a history of obesity and lung disease. She did lose several family members, including her own sister. And I just saw her a couple of weeks ago, and she said, Nadia, because I gave myself health, I gifted myself life. So I really want us to challenge and lead ourselves to the health that you know that you deserve, desire, and the health that belongs to your body, to your life, and it matters for the world. So thank you so much for being with me. I think we are done. The last slide is the thank you slide. So please remember to love yourself, enjoy the holidays through your daily choices. Any questions?